Adjective dry. 1. Dry weather has caused drought conditions in the region, leading to water shortages. 2. The dry desert landscape stretches as far as the eye can see. 3. After a long hike, our throats were dry, and we eagerly reached for our water bottles. 4. The dry leaves crunched beneath our feet as we walked through the forest. 5. Her dry sense of humor often leaves people wondering if she's joking or serious. 6. The dry climate is perfect for preserving ancient artifacts. 7. The bakery ran out of bread due to the dry yeast supply. 8. The dry air in the winter often leads to dry skin and chapped lips. 9. Despite the dry conditions, the cactus managed to survive in the arid desert. 10. The painter used a dry brush technique to create texture in the artwork. 11. Due to the dry spell, the farmers struggled to grow crops and faced low yields. 12. The dry riverbed served as a reminder of the once flowing water in the area. 13. The dry wind blew through the open windows, carrying the scent of dust and earth. 14. Despite the dry climate, some plants have adapted to thrive in arid conditions. 15. The dry paper caught fire quickly when exposed to a spark. 16. We hiked to the top of the mountain, where the air was thin and dry. 17. The dry climate of the region makes it an ideal location for stargazing. 18. He wiped his hands on a dry towel after washing them. 19. The dry spell caused a decrease in the water level of the reservoir. 20. Her dry eyes showed no tears, even though she was emotionally devastated. 21. The dry grass crackled under our feet as we walked in the savannah. 22. She spoke with a dry tone, showing no enthusiasm for the topic. 23. The dry climate is perfect for sun-drying fruits and vegetables. 24. The dry surface of the road became slippery when it started to rain. 25. He had a dry cough that persisted for weeks, making him feel exhausted. 26. The dry season is the best time to explore the ancient ruins in the area. 27. The dry air of the desert made it difficult to sleep comfortably at night. 28. She applied a dry wit to her jokes, often catching people off guard with her cleverness. 29. The dry spell affected the wildlife, leading to a scarcity of food for many animals. 30. The painter used a dry brush stroke to create fine lines and details in the artwork. 1. The dry and barren landscape stretched out before us, devoid of any signs of life or vegetation. 2. Despite the dry and scorching heat, the determined hikers continued their ascent up the steep mountain. 3. The dry and cracking soil indicated a prolonged lack of rain in the region, posing challenges for agriculture. 4. The dry and desolate desert seemed to stretch on forever, making it a challenging environment for survival. 5. The dry and arid conditions of the region necessitated the implementation of water conservation measures. 6. His dry and monotonous voice during the presentation made it difficult for the audience to stay engaged. 7. The dry and cracking lips were a result of exposure to the harsh winter winds. 8. The dry and stale air inside the old library made it a less than pleasant place to study. 9. The dry and withered plants in the garden were evidence of neglect and lack of proper care. 10. The dry and acrid smoke from the burning building filled the air, causing discomfort to nearby residents. 11. The dry and flavorless bread failed to satisfy our hunger after a long day of hiking. 12. The dry and cracked paint on the old walls gave the room a weathered and abandoned look. 13. Her dry and sarcastic remarks often left people feeling hurt and offended. 14. The dry and dusty books in the attic had been untouched for decades. 15. The dry and emotionless response from the authorities further frustrated the grieving family.